Okay, guys. My Vernon Kid is back. I'm back, and this is the other character I wanted to talk about. Yeah, it's a video game character. Yeah, it's just not gonna be comic characters. And as you can see right here, the one and only Ryu from the Street Fighter series. Yeah, Ryu. Ryu is pretty much the main protagonist of the Street Fighter series. He is beloved by many and even hated by many as well. But a lot of respect is to this character. And here's what is one fictional character that I actually he has a lot of influence on me in my daily life. Just the way he carries, how the creators have made Ryu carry himself in video games and everything like that. Though he was created for Capcom, the person who created Ryu his name is Manube Takamura. He created him, basically. And as you can see, Ryu looks like your traditional karate, martial artist. With the karate gi and the white or red hachi maki, or basically headband. Traditional fighting gloves, and that's when he first came out. He had the white headband, and he used to wear shoes, but later on, once 2 came out, they changed his and didn't start wearing shoes. Ryu, to me, is the quintessential embodiment of a true warrior. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. For every martial artist in history, whether Bruce Lee or not, you can see they kind of put a lot of martial artist personas into Ryu. Here's a guy that wanders the world, just seeking, to improve himself, which is pretty much the daily life and struggle of us. We're trying to improve ourselves, trying to make a good life, not trying to stray off of that path, but sometimes there are obstacles in our way, and that's pretty much what Ryu does. Is pretty much like, here's a guy basically that doesn't fight for money or I can quasi say pride. It's more about improving himself. As long as a fight improves his skill and strength, he'll do it. And he's gone up against many great warriors, such as Sagat, the first person he fought. Of course, his rival and best friend and sparring partner, Ken Masters, who they trained together. They trained in the same martial art. As well as Akuma, who some people will say, quote unquote, is his father. Because I say that because, in my opinion, it just would make sense to see that why Akuma keeps coming after Ryu. He keeps coming after Ryu to change him, turn him to the dark side of Hadouken and things like that. Unlock your true potential and stop hiding behind this persona of being good. It's kind of like Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker in my way. But I'll keep standing like that. Okay, but I'm gonna say, quote unquote, I still think, he is. That's just me. Ryu is he's just a very, very likable character, out of the Street Fighter universe. he's very recognizable. Once you see him, you're like, okay, I know who that is. You don't even have to play Street Fighter. You could just realize that this guy is from Street Fighter. And he has Ryu has had many slots throughout out his career, out of his existence. Like, for example, he was ranked number 1 in the top 20 characters of 2008 in I think the magazine Arcadia, in Game Radar's article, the 56 characters of Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Ryu, he was described as the heart and soul of Street Fighter series, and that's pretty much what he is, in my opinion. I agreed with that a lot. He is the heart and soul of the Street Fighter universe. Probably the most well-known fighting game character in the world. Most definitely. I will have to agree with them. Now, the question of outside of the games and comics, which are really good, the Udon comics of Street Fighter were really good. Collect those if you don't. They're in trade if you do. Outside of the comics and games, the only thing that seems to get Ryu and many of the Street Fighter characters right is the animated stuff. And that's where you watch this stuff. I urge people, do not sit through and watch any of the live action stuff, because you will be sadly disappointed, because you'll look at yourself and be like, that's not Ryu. The 1994 Street Fighter series movie had I remember the actor's name who played him in that movie, Brandon Mann. He was not Ryu in my opinion. It just really pissed off, because not even just that, they gave Ryu a last name, and we don't even know Ryu's last name. They never gave Ryu a last name, and it just bothered me. And just the fact that they made Ryu and Ken street hustlers was just really just disgusting. So if you're gonna watch any cartoon series or series about Street Fighter, watch the 1994 animated movie Street Fighter 2, the animated movie, where it's the Street Fighter universe at its best, where these characters are portrayed just like their game counterparts. Now, will I say Ryu is now the mascot of Capcom? You know what? As much as I don't want to say it, because I will always see the Blue Bomber, Mega Man, as the real mascot of Capcom, but Ryu is becoming that now. He is really becoming the mascot of Capcom now, because as much as he's never not used in any Capcom crossover games or anything like that, he's always in these games, and it's usually him going up against a major character from the other universe. In the latest Marvel vs. Capcom 3, who do we see him fighting? A very popular Marvel character, Wolverine. In the Street Fighter Cross Tekken trailer intro, who is he going up against? Kazuya, a very popular Tekken character. And from what I'm seeing and what I think in the Tekken Cross Street Fighter, I think he's going to be going up against Jin. So it's like, yeah, he's becoming that way, but he is still a very lovable character. And I'm not just putting him in there because there are other Street Fighter characters I love. But Ryu is up there. He is definitely up there. I remember I used to hate Ryu. I used to hate him with a passion whenever I used to fight people with him, because they used to do the same stupid combo that used to get on my nerves, and I would lose to that combo. It was a low kick, punch, low kick, Hadouken, fireball. And it's to piss me off. And then I said, let me play with this guy. And I mastered Ryu so well. I'm like, okay. And then just reading about his character, I'm like, wow, this reminds me of myself. Like, just the way I carry myself. And the way Ryu carries himself is the way I carry myself. And I think a lot of people will strive to carry themselves as well. Not even if you are a martial artist, just the way you just want to live your life to the fullest. That's just me. So yeah, Ryu is definitely a character, very beloved character. So like I said, guys, if you want to see something outside of the comics and video games of a persona of Ryu, the animated stuff, forget anything you heard about in the live action stuff. The only person I say that came close to portraying Ryu pretty well out in live action is the 3-minute short film Street Fighter Legacy that John Fu played Ryu, and that 3-minute movie, and I did a review on that, did what Hollywood couldn't do in an hour and a half movie. 3 minutes, they made Street Fighter look beautiful in Street Fighter Legacy in the short film. Now, will I say, could I not see Ryu in any game or not? Would I mind it? No, I wouldn't mind. If they made another crossover game and Ryu was out of it, I wouldn't mind, but it's highly likely it wouldn't happen. Ryu is always going to be in the games. But that's just it, you know. But Ryu is one of the greats, in my opinion. And this is another character that I love and that I like, you know. Will you see more Street Fighter characters down the line from me in this series? Yeah, you will. You'll see more. But I thought I'd start off with the one that I like the most. And that's Ryu. So let's give a good Hadouken for Ryu. Show some love to Ryu. If you don't like him, tell me why. If you do, same thing. You know me, guys. I love input. And this is Mount Vernon Kid saying peace, one love, stay tuned, keep it real, guys. I'm out.